Manchester United lost to Hull City on Saturday, the 22nd of August, and this loss will definitely be in a lot of United fans' minds. I know a lot of fans in the Nigerian community who were very upset, and this is going to be a series of videos that I'm only going to be posting on my YouTube channel, so it's exclusive for only YouTube, my YouTube Manchester United fans. We are going to always see this video after match day, so always watch out. Here is an in-depth analysis of Manchester United, what we could have done, the substitution that we could have made, and the lineup that we could have used to play Hull City in that match. So first of all, the first point that I would give is it was a very, very very slow start of the season. You know, our last competitive match was not competitive, but it was a friendly. It was against AC Milan, and that game was very. That game showed a lot of United fans about the things that Michael Carrick, what were his weaknesses in Manchester United's team. So we saw a lot of it. There was an outrage that we needed a central defensive midfielder, and we needed a left back. But I think this game also made us see a lot of other, issues that Michael Carrick has in that squad. I would say he has not really found out the errors that he made that was really found out by Ruben Amorim and his AC Milan squad. I don't think he has actually fully looked at that, because if you look at the game against Hull City, it was very, very clear that, they took a lot of their tactics. They even played the three at the back, five-man defense, Even the assistant coach came out at the end and he was saying it that, look, we saw the game against Hull City and we took a lot of our tactics from that game. The second point would be the imbalance in that midfield. Without a true number 6, we got overrun in transitions. You see players like Telemans, even Bruno Fernandes as well, and Andre Santos, they got overrun because Hall targeted the space in front of our front four and won the second ball. That is why Manchester United fans are always asking for Baleba. We needed physical players, and they came in late. Mino came in late. If Mount was there, I feel he would have done a better job in that midfield, because he's physical and he doesn't give up on balls. Third issue I have was the lack of clinical finishing. We dominated possessions rather. We dominated possessions a lot, but we had no cutting edge. Bruno was dropping too deep to create, which left no one in the box earlier on, because Bruno and Cunha in the first half, they're coming in too deep. Instead of Cunha to stay, at his number 9 spot, it was coming in too deep. I don't know if that was what Carrick told him, but he shouldn't do that. So Hull City, they defended very, very deep, and we could not break them down. Also, the first half, let's be honest, Padidoglu was shit. I think one lesson we understand from that game is on low block teams, you do not play Patrick Dogo on the wing. I'd rather him play at the fullback area. He is fast, he can defend counter attacks, he can get back quick, to defend our counter attacks whenever we are playing low block teams. So the fourth and one of the most important reasons I would give is Michael Carrick's first full season. It shows his growing pains. This is his first full season in charge. New systems, they take time. The pattern of play, they are not automatic, especially against low block. Because I do not think that Michael Carrick is used to playing against low block. I think his in his job at Middlesbrough, he was the one more used to playing low block teams. He was the one used to playing as a low block team, or a tit for tat game in the championship. So he's not used to playing against a low block, and it showed because he ran out of ideas to really affect the game in that game against Hull City. Also, I think he needs to grow tactically, because great managers, when you see that the game is not necessarily really working out for you in a certain way, you change it. You bring in another different way. You change your formation. You do something to affect the game. But it seems like Michael Carrick's his kryptonite is playing against three at the back. We always struggle around with three at the back to play against them. So he needs to really look at that. I also think our fullbacks pushed too high. Shaw and Masraoui, they were asked to provide width, but Hot they sat in and counter into those spaces in behind. So one of those counters, in short, two of the goals they score from set pieces, it happened because of their counter attack, how fast they are on the counter. So I have no issues with their Michael Carrick telling his fullbacks to push high, but you need to have a counter for that. You need to have contingencies in place for that. Yes. We are back in the. This one is more of an excuse, really. We are back in Champions League after finishing third last year. They only played the squad only played just 40 games last year, so the setup in fixtures and intensity, they may have caught a few of our players cold, because we are now looking forward to playing in the Champions League. So they might be looking at Hull City as just a small team. Michael Carrick said it in his press conference earlier that this is not going to be an easy team to play. But I think some of his players, they didn't really look at it like that, and they felt it. Also, Hull Cities, the fact that we played in their stadium, in their home crowd, and how their energy moved the MKM stadium, how the fans, make sure that they helped their team with their voices. It was a very hostile atmosphere for United. They had nothing to lose, and they made sure that they pressed us like mad. We looked surprised by their tempo especially in the first 25 minutes. We looked very, very surprised. That changed a little in the second half, because when Marcus Rashford came in, we were a bit more assertive, but it was a little too late. And to be honest, we didn't necessarily create a clear-cut chance all through the game. So kudos on on Hull City, their defense, Johnny Egan and his boys, in that back line. They made sure that they put in a very good shift at the office. Also, we had very, very poor decision making in the final third. We made too many extra passes. There were a lot of times when we were supposed to, make sure that we just one touch here. Sesko was culpable of that. Rashford was culpable of that. Bruno was culpable of that. We were making too many extra passes, but not enough shots. We need to change that part. Sometimes you do not have to play pretty football, but really attack. Really attack. One of my Manchester United's slogan is attack, attack, attack too. So we want to attack our games. Get the upper hand first. Then also the lion share in the group. I see the elephants in the room. We showed a very, very big set piece vulnerability. Why would you say that? It's very simple. Two of our goals was was they all resulted from set piece. So it was very bad. We struggled very badly at the defending corners, and and this is not a today something. Apart from last year where we were very good at set pieces, we've always struggled against second phases and corners or even free kicks sometimes for years. Hull City, they are a very physical side and they punished us very much. And also, I've said this before. Our mindset is only Hull City. It's only Hull City. We came out very flat, you know. We think that we are supposed to beat these people without any sweat. But there's no giving game in the Premier League. There's simply none at all. Bruno tried, everyone tried, but we need everybody at 100%. Even Bruno Fernandes, even Rashford, everyone. It's very shocking that our best attacker of the night on Saturday was Harry Maguire. Did you guys see when he was dribbling? That was very funny. That was very funny. But now let's look at the big picture. It is only game 1 of 38. Carrick has time. The Ipswich game on the 30th of August and Everton, their away game too, are where we need to see response. We need a proper DM, which is going to be gotten. We need a left back ASAP. Let's see how United, gets a left back in the coming few days. We also need a striker too. Even though I feel like a striker will be more of a next year, or who knows, we might get a stopgap, solution. Let's see. We need to be much ruthless in front of goal. We need to come into games with the right mentality. We need to, play more as a team. We need more legs in the midfield. So hopefully Carlos Baleba comes in very soon and he hits the ground running. For now, I think we should start Kobe Menu much more, and my key midfield before Carlos Baleba comes would be Santos, Meno, and Bruno. Yes, those will be my midfield 3, because I think Yuri Telemans, in as much as he's very, very technically gifted, he has a way to go physically. He needs to build that physicality back, that Premier League physicality back that we know from him and love. So yeah, hopefully we win the game against Ipswich, and we are happy campers to next week when we come in this video. So please look forward to seeing my video all the time. Always like and share, comment your opinions on the game against Hull City, what you thought was better, what you thought would do better, and let's see how we go on from there. Glory, my United. Please support this channel.